Hello everyone, welcome to the next session of CSAT Weekly. In today's session, we will complete the remaining passages of CSAT 2022. So, we have already discussed a lot of passages. We have completed our paper of 2023 and for 2022, we are left with 5 passages. So, today we will start by analyzing the passage, level of difficulty, length, and then we will move on to discussion of answers. Firstly, you have this passage 1. Again, this passage is not that lengthy, and one more plus point is that along with it you have 2 questions. So, एक तो passage की length is average length, 2 questions है. Then, if you will read the passage like this, just skimming through the passage, you will understand that language of the passage is also not very difficult. But let's do this in detail after some time. And then passage number 2. Again you see, very small passage, length of passage is not that big, and 2 questions with it. So you can see that before 2023, passages that were asked, length bhi kam thi, and then questions were also more. But after 2023 and in 2024 as well, the passages had only 1 or 2 questions at least, but not more than that. At most 1 or 2 questions. Now you see passage number 3 is just a 2-line passage, okay? But we'll see what we have to analyze from here. Passage 4, again, passage 4 is of, let's say, average length, and then you have question 1, question 2. So again, 2 questions with this passage. Then you have passage 5, again, normal length and a question. So none of the passages were such जिसमें either the length is so much or only 1 question is there with a lengthy passage. So ऐसा कहीं पे भी नहीं आया, right? Now let's start by discussing the passage. We will see what is the level of difficulty. The first one, you have, again, we'll follow the same approach that we have followed earlier. We will start by reading the question and the options first. Although this is a small passage, but you know that there are 2 questions and options, we'll just read this first so that we know where to put more attention. With reference to passage, which one of the following statements is correct? It is not possible for adults to feel thrilled by presents. Again, if you think generally, it is not possible by adults to feel thrilled by presents. This is not a correct statement. Of course, it is possible for adults to feel thrilled. Then there can be more than one reason why adults feel less thrilled by presents. Okay, this can be the answer, that yes, adults feel less thrilled and there can be more than one reason. Next is option C. Author does not know why adults feel less thrilled by presents. Maybe the author is talking about the fact that I don't know why it is happening that adults are now not feeling thrilled by presents. Next, adults have less capacity to feel the joy of loving or being loved. Now see, although this is a statement which might not seem extreme to you, but this is an incorrect statement. Adults have less capacity to feel the joy. Of course, this is incorrect. ऐसा नहीं है. Adults, first of all, you cannot measure the capacity, but we will see whether author has this point of view or not. So, till now we can say that option A is very, very less likely to be our answer. Same goes for option D. Next, passage 1. You have, if presents bid less thrill, now that we are grown up, perhaps it is because we have too much already. Now see, because we have too much already, or perhaps it is because we have lost the fullness of joy of giving and with it fullness of the joy of receiving. Now understand, author knows, author को पता है the reasons why, because see, author does not know why adults feel less thrilled by present, but here author is giving you the reasons. First reason, second reason, author is giving you reasons why adults are not feeling more thrilled by the presents. Firstly, it is because you already have so much. Second, it is because you are not able to feel the fullness of joy of giving and receiving. Okay, so option C, incorrect. Option D already we have marked. Option A already we have said that it is less likely. Read further. Children's fears are poignant, their miseries are acute, but they do not look forward nor too far backward. Okay, so children क्या है? Children do not look forward nor too far backward. Present, future का नहीं सोचते, past का नहीं सोचते. They live in the moment. Their joys are clear and complete because they have not yet learned to always add but to every proposition. So the author is simply telling us about different views of adults and children, that adults have already so much. Children का क्या है? They live in the present moment. They do not add but to everything. Thus, they can feel happiness and joy and all the feelings that the adult generation cannot. Perhaps we are too cautious, too anxious, too skeptical. Perhaps some of our cares would shrink if we thought less about them and entered with more single-minded enjoyment into happiness that come our way. So author is basically trying to say, don't take so much stress, don't think about past, future and everything. And we do this so much that as adults we don't enjoy our life, whereas children जो है वो इस बारे में नहीं सोचते, they enjoy their life. So among the options, it is not possible for adults to feel thrilled. Of course, this is incorrect. We feel less thrilled because of certain reasons. There can be more than one reason why adults feel less thrilled by presents. Yes, obviously. Anyway, author is also giving you 1, 2, 3 reasons why adults are feeling less thrilled by presents. Okay, so there can be more than one reason why adults feel less thrilled. So this question you could have done very, very easily. It is not a tough question to understand. Next is, author of the passage is against worrying too much about past and future, being in the habit of thinking about presents, not being thrilled by new things, giving and receiving joy only partially. ये तो गलत है. Author is anyway saying fullness nahi hai. We do not have the feeling of fullness of giving and fullness of receiving. So D is incorrect. Now understand, the passage is a philosophical passage jahan par author is not saying presents leke khush ho, presents ke bare mein socho. No, nothing like that. Author is saying that we are being less thrilled because we have so much, and then we are not living our lives fully. We are living our lives only by ifs and buts. Okay? So that we don't have to do. So the main idea that the author of the passage is against worrying too much about past and future. Author said kids kya karte hain? They don't think about the past, they don't think about the future, they live in the present moment and hence they are able to enjoy. Author is against being in the habit of thinking about presents. This doesn't make sense. Then not being thrilled by new things. Passage is not about new things. Passage is about why we are not being thrilled. हम में वो enjoyment, happiness, thrill की feeling क्यों नहीं है, right? So option A, worrying too much. इतनी tension मत लो. Author is against worrying too much about past and future. Option A. Now passage number 2. We'll read the passage. The majority of people who fail to accumulate money sufficient for their needs are generally easily influenced by opinion of others. Okay, so जो majority of people जो कि accumulate money नहीं कर पाते, they cannot accumulate money, they fail to accumulate money, वो easily दूसरों के opinion से influence हो जाते हैं. They permit newspapers and the gossiping neighbors to do their thinking for them. Opinions are the cheapest commodities on earth. Anybody can give opinions on anything. ठीक है? So if you are not that influential, तो आप क्या करते हो? If you are not able to accumulate that much money, you kind of think about opinion of others. ठीक है? You take others' opinion. Then everyone has a flock of opinions ready to be wished upon by anyone who will accept them. If you are influenced by opinions, when you reach decisions, you will not succeed in any undertaking. So अगर आप इतना opinions को अपने ऊपर influence होने दोगे, उससे influence हो जाओगे, तो आप कभी भी successful नहीं हो पाओगे. Okay. Next, question number 1. Passage was very easy to understand, nothing complicated, easier than the first passage. Which one of the following is implied by the passage? Most people do not accumulate money for their needs. Again, ऐसा तो Most people do not accumulate money for their needs. Again, ऐसा कहीं पे भी नहीं बोला in the passage that people do not accumulate money for their needs. It is said that जो नहीं कर पाते वो influence हो जाते, right? Most of the people never fail to accumulate money for their needs. Again, not true. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. We don't know कि कितने people fail हो जाते हैं, कितने people can accumulate money. Author is not talking about it. Author is talking कि जितने fail हो गए उसमें से majority of the people get influenced easily. Next, there are people who fail to accumulate money for their needs. Yes, there are people who fail to accumulate. जो भी people है, majority of people who fail to accumulate money. So yes, there are people who fail to accumulate money for their needs. And D is, there is no need to accumulate money. ये तो author ने कहीं भी नहीं बोला. Author is saying opinion से इतना impact मत हो, ठीक है? So option C will be your answer. Next, question number 2. What is the main idea of the passage? In general also, main idea is that people should not be influenced by opinion of others, right? But read all the options. Option D, people will succeed in any undertaking if they do not accept any opinion at all. ऐसा तो नहीं बोला. Author has said that अगर आप सबके opinion लेते रहोगे and every opinion you will consider, then you will not succeed. ठीक है? Opinion लेते रहोगे तो succeed नहीं हो पाओगे, ठीक है? But author is not saying that अगर आप opinion नहीं लोगे then you will succeed. Okay? It is not the reverse statement. ठीक है? So option D is incorrect. People should neither give nor accept opinions. Again, it is not stated anywhere. Author is saying that a lot of people have a lot of opinion, flock of opinions ready for them who want to take it. ठीक है? People should accumulate as much money as they can. Again, even if you simply read the passage, आपसे भी पूछा जाएगा कि what is the crux, what is the main idea. You will say that main idea is influence मत हो opinion से. People should not be influenced by opinion of others. Now, passage 3. See, in this what we have is, we just have one single line, one single sentence. So what you have to do is, you have to analyze the sentence and you have to find out whether the statement is correct or not. ठीक है? Social order is a sacred right. In this case, what I will suggest you to do is, write point-wise what the author is saying. Firstly, social order. Social order क्या है? Sacred right. Now I am writing it, but once you get a hang of solving passages like this, ठीक है, you can simply circle it. ठीक है? Social order is sacred right, which is the basis of all right. Okay. Nevertheless, this right does not come from nature. फिर कहाँ से आएगा? Must therefore be founded on conventions. That means social order जो है sacred right है. That is the basis of all right. Basis of all rights. सारे rights यहाँ से आ रहे हैं. Social order sacred right है. सारे rights यहाँ से आ रहे हैं. Then nevertheless, this right does not come from nature. ये sacred right, social order, this does not come from nature. Nature नहीं देती. We have to, that has to be founded on, therefore this is founded on conventions. ठीक है. सो ये सोशल ऑर्डर किस पे फाउंड होगा? नेचर इज नॉट गिविंग अस सोशल ऑर्डर, वी हैव टू, it has to be founded on conventions. Next, with reference to above passage, which of the following statements is or are correct? Conventions are the source of rights of man. Conventions is social order. Social order is a sacred right, which is the basis of all right. So yes, conventions are the source of rights of man. Next, rights of man can be exercised only when there is a social order. Social order hoga, it is a sacred right. Sacred rights is the basis of all rights. That means obviously rights of man can be exercised only when there is a कुछ social order होगा, तभी आप rights exercise कर पाओगे. This is anyway, both these statements are generally also true. So both 1 and 2 will be my answer. So in this passage you have, to encourage research is one of the functions of a university. Okay, to research encourage karna is one of the functions of a university. Contemporary universities have encouraged research not only in those cases where research is necessary, but on all sorts of entirely unprofitable subjects as well. ठीक है. So सबसे पहले ये बोला कि research encourage करना is one of the functions of university. Next, contemporary universities जो है, they have encouraged research not only on those subjects which are important, but also on the subjects which are unprofitable. Okay, scientific research is probably never completely valueless. Scientific research is probably never completely valueless, however silly and insignificant it may seem. ठीक है, तो वो बता रहे हैं that unprofitable चीजों में भी they have encouraged the research, and then they are saying that scientific research जो है, it is never completely waste, it is never completely valueless. Although वो unprofitable है, but never completely valueless, कुछ ना कुछ value it adds. ठीक है, however silly and insignificant it may seem, however mechanical and unintelligent the labors of the researchers, there is always a chance that result may be of value to the investigator of talent. Okay, so it is however mechanical and unintelligent the labors of the researchers, always a chance that basically आपका जो भी आप research कर रहे हो, whatever topic you are researching on, no matter how insignificant it may seem, but to the right person it is of value if that person is looking for that thing. Okay, so for an investigator of talent. Next, who can use the facts collected for him by uninspired but industrious researchers as the basis of some fruitful generalization. कोई और person can use your results as for his or her purpose, but where research is not original but the rearrangement of existing material, where its object is not scientific but literary or historical, consists in merely, then there is a risk of whole business becoming merely futile. ठीक है, so इस case में when the research is unoriginal and everything, तब जो है it may be completely futile. ठीक है, the author's assumption about scientific research is that it is never very valuable. No, it is sometimes very valuable. Now see, it is always very, ये तो हमें पता है, it is never very valuable, it is always very valuable. These two will not be my answer because author is not saying anything like that. Author क्या कह रहा है? If we think about it, author is saying that no matter how small it may seem, how small or futile it may seem, but research can be useful to someone who is looking. ठीक है, अब उसमें ऑथर ने ये भी बोला कि if the research is based on any number of facts and anything that can also be used by some other person. ठीक है, laborers research है only full of data या whatever, that data can be used by some other person who wants to use it into his or her further research, fulfill his or her purpose. ठीक है, तो no matter how small, how laborious it may look, it can be used somewhere. ठीक है, so it is sometimes very valuable. No, it is never without some value. Sometimes very valuable means kabhi kabhi research is very valuable, but we are not saying that. We are saying कभी भी कोई भी research is not completely useless नहीं होती है, हमेशा इसकी कुछ ना कुछ value तो होती ही है. It is never without some value. Option C will be your answer. ठीक है. Now moving on to second question. According to the author, not many research results can be of value to an intelligent investigator. Again, this is not correct. A research result is always valuable to an intelligent investigator. Again, always valuable. We cannot say it may or may not be valuable. Any research result can be of value to an intelligent investigator. ठीक है, next is a research result must always be of some value to an intelligent investigator. Even if you see that which option is correct, generally also any research results can be of value to an intelligent investigator. ठीक है, कोई भी research result होगा, it can be of some value अगर investigator is intelligent enough to understand that. ठीक है, and use that. Okay, so option C will be your answer. Next is passage 5. How best can the problem of floods and droughts be addressed so that losses are minimal and system becomes resilient? So, किस चीज की प्रॉब्लम के बारे में डिस्कस करें? प्रॉब्लम्स ऑफ फ्लड्स एंड ड्रॉट्स. फ्लड्स मीन्स एक्सट्रीम वाटर, ड्रॉट मीन्स scarcity of water. So we are discussing the problem of imbalance of water. Okay, so that losses are minimal and system becomes resilient. In this context, one important point that needs to be noted is that India gets too much water, about 75% of annual precipitation during 120 days. Basically, हमें in general भी पता है, इंडिया में there is uneven rainfall distribution pattern. So 120 days, that is June से लेकर September तक, we get 75% of the rainfall that we are going to get in the complete year, and too little for the remaining 245 days. This is skewed water availability. This skewed water availability has to be managed and regulated for its consumption throughout the year. ठीक है, so हमें पता है हमारे पास कभी कभी extreme water है and other times we have less water. ठीक है, which one of the following best reflects practical, rational, lasting solution? Now you think about it. In general, if I am saying in some months, let's say you are earning for 3 months in 1 year, okay, and you are earning a lot of money for in those 3 months, but the remaining 9 months you are not earning anything or you are earning very little. So what will be your solution? जो वो 3 months में आपने earn किया है, you save it as, you keep it as a savings to spend in the remaining 9 months, right? That is the same thing which we have to apply here. That will be the most logical solution कि आपने जो भी rain water which we have collected, जो भी rain water है वो आप store करो so that you can use it further जब आपके पास drought problem होगी. So first is constructing huge concrete storage tanks and canals across the country. Next is changing the cropping patterns. We are not even talking about changing cropping patterns. ठीक है, we cannot change, this is not a practical solution for the water issue. Rainfall आ रही है, rainfall is uneven. Changing cropping patterns will not lead to solving the problem of droughts. ठीक है, interlinking of rivers across the country. This we have already discussed in one more passage, that UPSC sometimes gives essay solutions that are impractical across the countries. So many rivers are there. Can you interlink them? It is not possible. Similarly, next you have buffer stocking of water through dams and recharging aquifers. Obviously, this also includes buffer stocking of water means tanks and canals you will have to create. So, option D is the most generalized, logical, rational solution for our problem कि water का stock रखो and aquifers को recharge करो. We know we recharge aquifers for further water consumption. So, option D will be your answer. Right. So, with this we have ended our reading comprehension CSAT 2022 discussion. In the next video, we will start with paper of 2021. I hope you understood all the concepts. If there is anything that is unclear, you can write those in the comments. Thank you so much for watching the video.